I got to do the countdown again. Check. All right. Let's try this again. Twitter's got that. Check, check, check. All right, we are going in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
SBTV Nation, it's your boy The Dream in the house, and we're coming off of a huge Thursday night win for the Arizona Cardinals, as my boy Mad Hatter still has no confidence that the Cardinals are who I thought they were.
You really want to go there with them, player? You really want to go there after that performance?
I'll put up with that right now this morning for you, player. Yeah, I do really want to go there because I know you're going to talk to me about how, that wasn't that impressive of a win and whatever. Son, a win is a win.
A win is a win. It is called winning. But, however, you do know that the Minnesota Vikings – go ahead. I'm going to let you –
it's not like the Vikings were dusty.
Well, 3 turnovers, brother.
I don't know. I'm saying it's not like they're a dusty team.
Yeah, I got it.
Like Killer Cam nail biting with Drew Breezy. So remember that before you start throwing your stones.
Oh, no doubt. Guys, we are on Twitter right now, SBTV Nation, and we are also live on YouTube right now, man, streaming the show and having a hell of a good time and looking forward to rocking and rolling and making this thing and bringing our show to another level, Dream. Pretty excited about it, man.
I know. I am too, right there with you, brother. So what's going on?
I'm looking at this. So the Arizona Cardinals emerged 23-20 over the Minnesota Vikings, and I'm taking a look at this particular thing. And like I said, I mean, hey, you really think that this is the class of the NFC that I watched last night, Dream?
I like this team, man. I really like this Arizona Cardinal team. I like the way they get it done. I like the way they move. And I think that when all is said and done, the way the draw is going to turn out, their road to the Super Bowl is probably going to be a little bit easier than Carolina. I really honestly think that Carolina is going to see the Seattle Seahawks in the playoffs and catch a loss. I really think that's going to happen. And then, of course, Arizona would probably end up playing the NFC East team. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking Arizona may have a little different of a road to take than Carolina would have to take.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at it. I mean, you got Green Bay, obviously, in the division lead. Then you got the NFC East. Then you got a couple of wild card teams. Now, if you look at it here, I mean, if Carolina, all they got to do is probably win 2 more games to secure the number 1 seed in the NFC. So if you pull up the NFC playoff picture right now and you take a look at it, I mean, the way it's looking, man, is, you know, Arizona's in the playoffs. Carolina is in the playoffs. They have both secured a ticket there. Hey, man. Any of these teams could do anything, but I think Carolina is the class of the NFC, man. 12-0, Rivera, the whole package. Killer Cam, Charlie was on here talking about it yesterday, and, you know, pretty excited about what Killer Cam's got going on, especially after taking a look at the competition last night, brother.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And I really love the way Killer Cam looked against Breezy. They looked incredible, giving up, you know, all the points they let the New Orleans Saints score on their incredible offense. So we'll just keep that in mind moving forward. Listen, not much I can say. The man's at the top of his game right now. He's winning, doing his thing, 9-0 or whatever he is, 12-0, excuse me. Yep. You know, winning every week, having fun, clowning, having a good time. But I just don't believe it.
You don't believe it, huh?
I don't believe it.
So moving on to the next subject here, man, we got to talk about the number 4 Iowa State Cyclones. Son, did you see this game, the epic comeback that they had last night?
I didn't see the epic comeback. I know that Iowa was in there behind for the whole game, but this is my thing, though. Iowa State is the 4th-ranked team in the league.
Right.
And Iowa State's not even ranked. So a comeback is like it should have never even been in that situation.
Yeah, the Cyclones, from what I understand, 5 consecutive games of coming back from 15 points or more and get the job done. So I guess no leads is safe versus this team, brother.
Well, the thing you got to keep in mind is you have to, you got to come to play a full game in Iowa's case, and I'm sure this is a heated rivalry, as it's an in-state rivalry. So, in Iowa's case, you got to play a full game. You got to play full defense. There was no reason that they should have let that happen because they were up. I want to say a minimum of like 8-6. I'm looking out the corner of my eye on the ticker. They were up somewhere in the 8-6 range with like a minute left in the game.
Yeah, right. I mean, up 20 points in the second half, man. My kid and I were sitting there looking at it, and my kid's like, oh, maybe an epic comeback. I'm like, dude, no way. And all of a sudden, boom. And all of a sudden, then you see the fans storm the court, man. And speaking of that, Dream, one of the reporters broke his leg with that situation last night. What do you think of the fans storming the court in those situations?
I don't know. I'm mixed on it, but I don't think that you can stop it at this point. I mean, there's just not enough security personnel and people on that can stop any of that. So at this point, you have to just, let it roll. It's the thing of the norm. I've always struggled with the storming of the court and storming of the field because, some of the people caught up in the middle, wouldn't like to beat that person. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, and if you look at this, go ahead. If you look at this guy, I mean, he was an older gentleman, too, that broke his leg. I mean, he's in the hospital bed.
That's my thing.
They sent out a tweet, with him sitting in the hospital bed. I mean, I think my man's going to get paid a little bit.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, like I said, I've never been a big fan of that, and people love doing that. And they've been doing that for a long time at sporting venues. Even with some of the, when they climb on the goalpost and take down the goalpost sometimes.
Yeah, right.
I just think it's crazy that they do that because, just worrying about someone getting hurt.
That is dangerous as all hell, especially with the goalpost going on. I mean, listen, you know what? I believe that it's part of the excitement of college sports. I get it, but. And this guy, from what I understand, I read a little bit into it, get trampled. I guess he locked legs with somebody, and that's what ended up happening to him. So, hey, you know what? Shout out to him, and I wish him a speedy recovery, and I'm sure he's looking forward to that paycheck he's going to be getting. You know what I mean?
I lost you for like 5 seconds.
Oh, you did?
Complete silence.
Complete silence. All right, just finishing up about the Iowa State situation, brother. So, moving forward, man, as far as that's concerned, so NBA scores last night, man. The Philadelphia 76ers are 1-22. Dream could not get the job done versus the Brooklyn Nets and Brook Lopez and the whole package there.
Dusty Brook Lopez. The Sixers were actually up at one point in that game, and I was like, whoa, maybe the Sixers going to catch a win. But, Brook Lopez worked it out, and, big ups to them.
Yeah, definitely. And the Chicago Bulls stopped the bleeding and finally got the job done versus the Clippers. And your boy Rivers, man. Rivers. I don't know what's going to go on with the Clippers this year, man, but they are definitely not the class of the West this year, brother.
They are not.
Definitely not.
West. But it's still early in the basketball season. Don't get too excited about basketball yet. It's still early, just like with hockey as well. We will keep an eye on this Clipper team because, we know that the talent's there. We know that they've got the experience. We know that the players are in place there. Yes. The coaching staff is good. They've got all the pieces of the package. And we saw this last year with San Antonio. Yep. Sort of the same thing. And at the end of the season when the smoke cleared, there they were. So keep that in mind before we just kind of rule them off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they got all the pieces there, including your boy, the Truth. So we're going to see what they end up doing at the end of the day, man. But you know what? The Golden State Warriors and the Spurs and even OKC, who emerged last night and beat up on the Hawks by quite a bit of points, by double digits. I still like this team as well, Dream.
Okay.
Your boy Kevin Durant and Russ Westbrook and the whole package. My
issue with them is, like I told you in the past, it's two guys.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And that's I never I struggle with anybody that's, you cannot be one-dimensional in sports. I don't think in any sport. You have to have multiple ways to get it done. And that's another reason why I struggle a bit with Carolina, and not to move it back into that, but that's a little bit why I struggle with them. But when you look at this team with these two players, they need – and, I know they're getting some help out of the other guys. I know other people are involved. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying we know that this team is anchored mostly by these two. And then I know people are going to say, well, what about LeBron and that? Yeah, but when LeBron was with the Heat, there was Wade played. There was Bosch. Chalmers was involved. I mean, other people were involved. You have to have a full team effort involved. And maybe because they relied so much on LeBron, maybe that went into why they weren't as successful as the Spurs, who relied on a full team effort. So my whole thing is you have to have multiple ways, because on the night, just like when we do the show, on a day when you're dragging, I'm here to pick you up. Yep. On a day when I'm dragging, you're here to pick me up. That's what it's all about in a team sport. And you have to find multiple ways how to beat a team, because certain things can be shut down. Durant's not hitting his shots, or defensively the defense on him. Okay, now we can get some help out of Westbrook. Westbrook shut down. Where else are we going to go after that? You know what I'm saying?
Sure, absolutely. So, hey, we'll see what ends up going on with that. They are 14-8 and 10-3 at home. The Thunder win by 13 points in that particular affair, and the Knicks lose again, Dream.
Yes, sir.
Lose by 2 points. They actually made it a little closer than it was, man, because they were getting beat the entire game, bro.
Told you the Knicks wasn't that good, though, already.
Your boy Porzingis. Your boy Porzingis, man, being the superstar of the year all of a sudden, man. So, hey, man, it's gonna be pretty interesting as far as the East and West. I'm curious to see what this Boston Celtics team is gonna do moving forward. Like I said, the Bulls are up and down. The Miami Heat, Indiana Pacers are going to be playing tonight, which we'll talk about later on in the show, and we will go from there. Dream.
No doubt.
So, what do you got as far as Darrelle Revis?
And it's just real quick segment about him. And I don't know how you guys feel about this, but, I've watched a little bit of Darrelle Revis' career. Obviously, him playing for the Jets and us being, on the East Coast, we hear a little bit more about the New York teams and other teams. And I'm not going to knock anybody's injury, so I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way. But I just want to say that, when you make a certain amount of money,
yep,
there are just some expectations about you. You know what I'm saying? And my perception of Revis, and I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I just see a guy that's really out for himself. Okay? I just don't – I don't see it – I mean, just by some of his team moves, chasing the dollar and chasing the money, and, we look at him, most of the guys under this concussion protocol, I would say, and I'm generalizing. Obviously, I don't know how in-depth he is. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not trying to say that he's faking it or anything like that. All I'm saying is that we've seen a plethora of guys come under the concussion protocol thing, and we've seen them return. Some guys have even returned the day of the game. Sure. Some guys have returned like the following week, all right? In Darrelle's case, it's now, and I get, okay, I want to make sure I'm healthy, maybe, okay, I'm cool with that. But my whole thing is, when you're getting paid the money that Darrelle Revis has gotten paid,
yep,
like, I always feel like Revis is more like about, like himself and his own health first before his trying to get back out in the field. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And my whole thing is, when you're getting paid like that, get out on the field. And I'm not trying to, belittle his injury, and sure, maybe his injury was dead on and whatever. But he's been an injury-prone athlete, okay? And it just seems like to me the money that he's demanded, and with the title that he's given himself, being the best corner, in football and all that. But for me, I just don't feel. I don't feel that there's any love of the game or any passion of the game for him. I feel like it's all about, Darrelle Revis, how much money I can make, and, I'm not putting myself out there in this situation, or, I just get that feel from him, and I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I just want to speak on it because that's just the feel I get.
Well, we'll see what ends up going down with that as the year
materializes. He is scheduled to come back today and do it, but I come back this week. I'm sorry, but I just don't feel the passion there for him.
You don't feel the passion.
I feel like if Revis walks up and he's got an ingrown toenail, guess what? I'm not playing today.
Definitely not, man. Definitely not. And the Montreal Canadiens last night lose. They went down in flames to the Detroit Red Wings. And I'm looking at this, and that Florida Panthers team, they beat the Caps, man. This team is pretty good.
Been pretty good ever since our guy came on and gave us the information. They have been incredible. And they have played at a high level. The defense has definitely stepped up in their situations. And big ups to them on the win last night. I got The Blues, though, last night was heartbreaking. And this
Oh.
Flyer team is becoming such a pain in the neck with me. Such a pain in the neck, dude.
I'm looking at it, man. It's the Philadelphia Flyers went 4-2 over the St. Lucia Blues, man. You know what, though? The Blues, we always talked about it. You know, they very rarely lose back-to-back games. I know they came off of a couple. I want to say they lost 3 in a row and then won one and now lost one. So you know what? I think we're pretty safe to get involved with them moving forward in some of the games, you know, probably this weekend and so on and so forth. You know what I mean?
No doubt. And that Flyers game is back at it again tonight, and I got them getting beat again. I got them getting beat tonight.
You do?
But we'll talk about that a little bit later. I shouldn't jump right out the window, but I remember spotting it last night. I was looking at who they play next, and if I'm not mistaken, yeah, they play the Dallas Stars, by the way, tonight.
Oh, wow.
They play the Dallas Stars tonight. So leaving out of St. Louis, flying over to Dallas. Dallas a little bit rested. Yeah, I'm probably going to take a shot at getting some money back against the Dallas Stars.
All right, cool deal. Guys, we're live right now on Twitter, and we are live on YouTube streaming the show. And obviously, you know, there's probably going to be a little hiccups here and there. You know, we're doing the best we can to try to make this thing product and have something to watch, man, because there's not many sports shows that are streamed live on YouTube, Dream.
No doubt,
so,
definitely.
Hey, it is what it is, and I can't wait to finally get a studio and, you know, kind of do a little, almost like a little Mike and Mike type thing with you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Just
Listen, though, you know what? For some of you that are just tuning in and just listening and don't know who we are and you're getting involved with us for the first time, we are SBTV Nation, and we just want to just tell you a little bit about our story. You know, we were two guys that were gamblers. We were watching mainstream media and watching like ESPN, Fox News, and Fox Sports, all those outlets, and we did notice that these outlets never paid attention to the sports gambler. You know, there was an emphasis on sports, but never the sports gambler. And what we do is we decided to do something about it. We're mostly just some gamblers and some casual, I shouldn't say casual, passionate is what I should say.
Very
sports fans that love sports and we're into sports. We have an opinion about a lot. We've been around for quite a bit. We come to you and we try to bring you some ways and some different ideas of how to do the gambling and how to do it a little bit more at a better rate and more success, how to utilize some of the tools that are available out there, along with we have a whole community of people that we all get down with and share information back and forth to try to come up with the best possible outcome for the evening of sports. So if you are just tuning into us, that's a little bit about who we are and what we're about, to recap that.
And welcome to the biggest show in the world.
No
That's all I'm
doubt.
going to say about that. And we are on
We do it in our style as well.
We are on all the social media outlets. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, the whole package, and obviously where you're watching us now, and that is on YouTube, player. So pretty excited about it, brother.
Definitely.
Pretty damn excited. So looking at this, just switching this up a little bit. Dream,
Yes,
talk
sir.
to me about your situation as far as straight wagering versus a money line parlay. I'd like to
no doubt.
kinda
I get
figure out
into
what's
this
up.
a little bit, and I just want to get a little clarification on it because some people, you know, still out there sometimes don't really kind of understand how we do or how it's bet. So we're gonna make up. This is all imaginary. Just let's look at it at an imaginary level, but just so we could put it in perspective. So
Sure.
Here's the deal. Let's say we have Monopoly money, $100 Monopoly money, okay? $100 that we plan on wagering, all right? So now we could wager on the game minus the spread versus Vegas, which like last night, we'll use last night's game for an example.
Right.
Arizona was playing the Minnesota Vikings. The line at the time was, let's say, minus 9.5, okay? So now, in my opinion, Arizona is going to win the game. They're home, okay? Prime time, you could throw that little bit in there if you want. They're playing a Minnesota Viking team that just had gotten beat last week. So I really saw a high success level statistically in Arizona winning the game.
Yeah.
However, then implements the spread, which was 9.5 out of Vegas. That particular part of it, I'm scratching my head a little bit because I'm thinking, you know, Minnesota's a good team. You know, Minnesota's, one of the top teams in the NFC, battling to make the playoffs and, try to get the top spot. At one time, they were in the league. Now they fell back. So now I'm not thinking that Arizona may or may not cover the 9.5 points.
Sure.
So I'm saying to myself, if I can remove the 9.5 points, I'm good.
Yep.
All right? Get rid of the 9.5 points, just get Arizona to win the game at home. Now, the spread, that particular money line situation is minus $550, meaning I would have to put up $550 to make $100. Makes no sense. I'm complete in agreement with that. I don't want to do that because I'm not going to put 500 up to make 100. So what I need to do is I need to find another team to put with them. So I'm going to look for another team at home against maybe a weaker team, maybe not so much on the money line, point spread or whatever I can find. So in my option, let's say imaginary last night would be the St. Louis Blues. St. Louis Blues are minus 180 on the money line.
Yep.
So I put the St. Louis Blues with the Arizona Cardinals in a 2-team money line parlay. Okay. The same $100 that I was interested in betting pays $83.81. Okay. So now it's $20 off of the 100 that I was putting up.
Yep.
The same guy, now the same straight wagerer plays the $100 and takes Arizona minus the points. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you put up the 100 and you're minus the points. Guess what? Yesterday, we both lose $100.
Yes.
Okay. But if we win, he wins $100 and I win $83, but I had a lot minimal risk.
Right.
So in my case, because people will say, well, over the long term, the money line is not going to win. And you're right. Over the long term, the money line is not going to win if you're putting up $550 to make 100.
To win a seat.
You're right. It's not going to win. Duh. I'm not stupid, and I don't think either are you. But if you're playing it the way we play it, which is manipulating, over the long run, you're going to have the same kind of success rate, give or take. A game or two. Obviously, some of that comes into dynamics, but basically the money is still going to generally be the same. So I just want to go over that a little bit to try to explain to some guys, because I know some people listen and some people aren't necessarily clear on what we do or how we do it or the way we go about it. But generally speaking, that's the way we go about it, and it's been pretty successful.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, it's when you're in a point situation, some of these athletes, they don't care about covering the spread. What do they care?
Definitely not. And I mean, last night was a perfect example because there was a point in the third quarter, the Arizona was up 10 points.
Yep.
Okay. They could have smoke showed it and probably, closed out the game and went up even more. But, they didn't. There were a couple play around plays, and there were a couple of times where they had like a 3rd and 1 or a 4th and 1 that they didn't pick it up. They didn't decide to go for it to try to take, control of the game. They decided to play it safe. So you have to keep all those things that you have to keep in mind when you're doing your wagering.
Gotcha. Well, hey, man, I'm glad that you kind of cleared the air a little bit. Not that we haven't been doing that for about a year and a half now, brother, but I'm glad that you were able to talk about it and discuss your style a little bit, man. So, and sometimes, sometimes you can get like all of these elite teams, like college hoop or something like that are like double-digit favorites. You put them all together and you have like no stomach aches.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I know that there's some people, that do that and so on and so forth. So we'll go from there, man. So let me just take a look here. What time you want to have your boy Tiger Clinch call in pretty soon, man? Talk a little UFC with us?
I definitely want him to talk USC with us. Actually, guys, we were talking about the USC yesterday,
yes,
and I was over here fumbling with it. At the end of the conversation, I felt that I was fumbling around with it. So I said to myself, you know what? Why bother fumbling around with it when I could have the man himself give us a call in and talk to us about the UFC, as he is completely vested in it. So, I could definitely get to that. I can hit him up and tell him to call in. I thought you had a little special for us today, though.
Yeah. I'm waiting for that, but it may not be happening, so we might have to reschedule a certain female that I was trying to get on a little while. But hey, it's all good, man. We'll get right into the UFC and we will have the conversation. Dream.
Cool.
Looking
Excellent.
very much forward to it. So if you could send him a message, that would be great. And we can keep going and rocking and rolling from there, because we got a lot of stuff going on tonight, man.
You
know what? Definitely. And while you're doing that,
yep,
we were discussing Las Vegas yesterday.
Okay.
And we were having a conversation about, guys, what we did last year, in case you don't know, is that we went out in March to celebrate our 1-year anniversary of the show and put the invite out to 194 countries. And we're looking to do it again, man. We're looking to do it again, possibly. But we got to get a head count. We got to get an idea of how many people actually want to come and how many people want to join us and whatnot and so forth. And what we got to do is, obviously, we got to go and present this to the casinos and find a home for the SBTV Nation. So we're looking forward to it and ready to rock and dream. I am very excited about it if it materializes, whether it's in March, whether it's another time or day, whatever, we will have the conversation. But I think I have your boy calling in right now.
Okay.
All right. This is my man, Tiger Clinch, calling on the line. What's going on, man? How you doing today?
What's going on, Hatter?
Hey.
Dream, how are you guys? Good morning.
Oh.
Hey, what's happening, TC? I'm gonna call you TC from now on because I've been ripping up your last name on your Twitter handle anyway. So I'm gonna just call you TC. TC, what's happening, player? So thankful for you yesterday, giving us that information and sharing it with the nation as you went an impressive 3-1.
Yes, 3-1. The only one that came back and bit us in the butt was that main event with Paige Van Sant. As you know, I told you from the get-go, she is like another Ronda Rousey. She's the UFC's putting a lot of money behind her. She's the cute cheerleader that turned UFC fighter that they're putting everything behind. I believe they're even promoting them themselves. They're like her sponsor. And I told you, like, she has the same problem Ronda Rousey has. She comes from she comes from a great camp of phenomenal wrestlers. Her wrestling's off the chain. Her boxing, on the other hand, she looks more like Ronda on the boxing side. And it came to fruition yesterday. Rosa Majunas was lighting her up in the feet, and she had no answer for her. Even when she tried to take her down, she had no answer, and just Rose dominated from beginning to end. She got the brace beat off of her.
I hear you.
But like I said, she could take a punch. I mean, she's better at that than Ronda Rousey is. I better tell you that much.
Really?
Gotcha. TC, tell me, where are you? I know you're from the West Coast. Where are you from, player?
I'm out of Los Angeles, man.
Okay, cool. My man Rick Lopez is out there as
Yeah.
well. What and you've been obviously involved in this UFC MMA thing. I know your information is your knowledge is pretty stellar. You got a background with it at all?
I've dabbled in some judo and I've done some jiu-jitsu in the last few years. But haven't done any like actual MMA training. But I've been following the sport for many, many years, and it's a passion I have. It's like you guys, it's just something that I love the sport. So I just constantly watch and I follow the fighters. I follow what camps they go to. I follow who the coaches are. So it's something I keep tabs on. It's a lot more difficult with fighters sometimes because it's not like an NFL team or NBA team. You're playing with LA, so your camp is in LA. That's who your coach is. You're with them for an extended period of time. When you're fighting, you're not dedicated to a camp. So if you need to go, let's say, to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and train out of Greg Jackson, they're going to be there, and they're like, okay, well, I need to travel. So now you switch camps, and the growth that you make there may be different than the growth you made at your old camp. So that's just one thing that you need to take into consideration.
Nice,
Gotcha.
nice. And I've noticed that anytime you see somebody with like a cauliflowered ear, it's probably not the guy to mess with at the bar.
Yeah, most definitely. But it's probably your jiu-jitsu guy or your typical wrestler.
Yeah.
Those are trophies, man. Those guys that do wrestling, jiu-jitsu, you get injections to get that stuff out of your ear, but they decide not to. They're like, these are war trophies. We don't need to get rid of these.
Wow, man. Yeah, that's definitely something that, I mean, so you can get rid of it with injections and stuff like that, or, kind of pump out the fluid, right?
It's a process. All it really is a bunch of pus. Sorry about that, cutting you off. It's a bunch of pus and blood that just builds up in your ear every time your cartilage breaks.
Okay.
So you go to the hospital and get like an injection, pull it out. They say it's painful as all heck, but some fighters just like, look, I don't want to go to the hospital after every fight or every other month to get these injections. So it's like, just leave it on there. It's a trophy.
Gotcha. Well, Dream, we got some matches going on this weekend, right?
No doubt. Definitely. We got matches tonight, and I believe we got matches on Saturday. So without further ado, TC, you could get right on in it, player.
All right, gentlemen. Today I'm going to go over just a few marquee matches. There's not much on this one as it was last night. We have about another four matches that are going on today. Let me start off with Joe Lozon versus Evan Dunham. These two guys love to be in bloody wars. If anybody knows anything about Joe Lozon, if he's not bleeding, he's not fighting. Every single fight that this cat is in, he is just blasting the other guy or he's getting blasted. Same thing with Evan Dunham. They're both a little bit past their prime. But they have the heart of a champion. They fight all the time, and they take short notice fights all the time, and they're always looking to be in a fight. I prefer to go with Joe Lozon on this fight. Evan Dunham seems to be in a little bit of a comeback trail, but I feel like Joe Lozon has the experience on the ground and on the feet to be able to take care of the job. I think it'll be a 3-round decision, but I think we close it out, and I think Joe Lozon will take this fight.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Sounds
good. And I don't know if you guys want me to give you the odds on these two. Joe Lozon right now is, as a matter of fact, Joe Lozon is an underdog at plus 175. That's a big number for a vet and for someone who's been battle tested over the years. Evan Dunham sometimes has these like mental lapses in the cage. He'll be doing well, and then all of a sudden, like, something happens, and it's just like boom, completely different fighter in the cage. So I think Joe Lozon is a good spot. He's a live dog, and I think that if you want to take a small risk on him, you could.
Gotcha. Well, plus 170, man. I know the nation will be all over that dream.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, and to be honest with you guys, the fight game is a little bit more interesting than your regular sports. Like I said, it really depends on how the fighter's development has come around, because some guys they get to a certain spot and they don't grow anymore. And then you get these guys that they realize, look, I'm not growing here anymore. I need to go somewhere else, and I need to develop my skills. And they'll do that. You mean? And on paper, they look like the two guys look exactly the same, but one guy took a two-week travel to another camp and developed something better. Okay. And then he ends up winning. So that's why sometimes you have to keep an eye on these guys and where they're going. Because some guys, they plateau and that's it. But some guys like, look, I need to grow, and they get better.
All right, cool. What other matches do we have? We have McGregor fighting tomorrow night, right?
Yeah, we have McGregor fighting tomorrow night. He's the main event. That's going to be an amazing fight. I honestly think that Jose Aldo is being underrated. This guy has not not lost a fight in 10 years.
Wow.
10 years, guys. It's been 10 years since anybody has defeated him. And he hasn't gone in any trouble with the last few fights he's been in. He's pretty much destroyed everybody in front of him. Yes, he hasn't been a consistent finisher in the last 5 years, but nobody's given him any problems. And he's coming in as an underdog, as a champion, defending champion, and hasn't lost in 10 years, and he's an underdog.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
That's unheard of. He's a live dog in this situation, and I think that if anybody is looking to make a little bit of a wager on a live dog, Jose Aldo for Saturday night is a big underdog for what for his experience and battle test.
Wow. So I mean, if because Ronda Rousey already went down, and that was kind of like Dana White's meal ticket. So if McGregor goes down, I think my man's gonna be a little upset.
He's got 2 meal tickets that's gone down the drain. He's got Paige Van Sant, and he's got Ronda Rousey. And let me tell you something about this Ronda Rousey hype train, guys. Whoever is on this Ronda Rousey hype train needs to get off right now. Right now. She is getting the rematch with Holly Holm.
Yep.
She's staying with the same coach that was telling her, Ronda Rousey, you're doing great. You're doing great. We have her right where we wanted. And then the second round comes on, and she gets a kick to the face.
I know.
She needs to get a new coach, but she's too loyal to this guy that, believe it or not, they didn't want to give her the time of day when she first started.
Gotcha.
He didn't want to train her at all, and it's one of those things to where she needs to go and find a better coach, but unfortunately she's not, and she's going to lose again, and I think she's already mentally broken because she's already said, I'm done. If I lose this fight, I'm done.
Really?
I've never heard anybody say that.
Wow.
She said, I'm done with everything. But people don't know if she's done with the movies or with the fighting or just everything in general.
Well, she's done. I think I got it. She's done with the fighting. She's not going to be done with the movies. Or anything that can make money.
Yeah, but it's one of those things to where, I feel that she's mentally broken. You've never seen LeBron James, a world-class athlete, say, you know what? If I don't beat this team in the championship, I'm done.
Gotcha.
I'm done with everything.
Losing a basketball game and getting your Jaw broken is two different types.
Broken in half.
Yeah,
Man.
no, completely two different things. Yes, I understand, but it's just the mental. It's just the mind of a champion.
No doubt.
The mind of a champion will never be, I'm done. If I, I mean, champions are always looking to improve, are always looking to grow, are always looking to become better. And I feel that with her saying that, I feel that she's kind of, she's got that mental issue now. She's going into this fight with Holly Holm, and she's not going to be growing because she's with the same coach. And I feel like if you think Holly Holm took her belt this time around, well, Holly Holm's going to take her soul the next time around.
Wow.
Because she's not getting any better. She's not.
All right.
All right. So we got you got Lausanne tonight.
Yes.
All right. So tomorrow we do have the McGregor fight, obviously McGregor Aldo. But is there anything else on that card that you're looking at this time?
Well, it was one more fight for tonight's card that I'm looking at, and it's a main event with Frankie Edgar and Chad Mendes.
Okay.
It's Chad Money Mendes against Frankie the Answer Edgar. Frankie Edgar is from Jersey. This guy has been fighting for years. He's been the underdog for many years.
Jersey, if he's from Jersey, he's got to be catching a loss.
Hey, Dream, why are you a hater? This guy's a multiple-time champion,
Sixers,
boss.
Flyers, Phillies, baby. Sixers, Flyers, Phillies.
Well, what have the Philly Flyers been doing to you lately?
Oh, I know, right?
Philly is just not winning with nothing right now. So,
but yeah, this fight is gonna be amazing. I think it's gonna. I feel like it's gonna go the whole 5 rounds. But I think Frankie is gonna come up on top. I think he's hungry. He wants that next shot at Conor McGregor. He's been skipped on the title shot a couple times already, and he is pissed about it. He wants to make a statement with this fight. I'll be surprised if he doesn't take Chad Mendes out, because he wants to make a statement. But I think that Chad Mendes is good enough competitor to take him to 5 rounds. And I think it'll go 5 rounds. But I think Frankie Edgar is just a better wrestler, a better boxer, and just he has more to fight for, because Chad Mendes just got blasted by Conor McGregor his last fight. So I think the Frankie Edgar's going to come up on top on this one, guys.
All right, so one more time, let's do a recap of what we're liking tonight.
Yes.
We're liking Frankie Edgar.
Yes.
And
we're liking Frankie Edgar to go 5 rounds on Chad Mendes, and I believe Joe Lozon is the live dog. And there's one more fight. Sorry if I could put this in here real quick. It's Edson Barbosa, Tony Ferguson fight. These two guys are amazing fighters. They're both great on their feet. Edson Barbosa with his kickboxing and Tony Ferguson with his boxing. I think this fight will be fireworks. And I believe that Tony Ferguson is the younger, hungrier fighter, and he's going to come out, and I think he's going to make a statement with this fight as well. I think he'll probably end up taking out Edson Barbosa in late in the fight, and he's just a hungrier, younger dog, and I think that he's ready to break into the top 5 in the UFC, and I think he's ready to make a title run. Edson Barbosa, he's had his opportunities, and every time he's get that step up, he's been shut down. The last fight, one of the last opportunities he got to step up was against Cowboy Cerrone, and he had Cowboy hurt. He dropped Cowboy with like one punch, and he let Cowboy come back up and just get blasted. So yeah, I think Tony Ferguson will take this. I think it's a good spot. Tony Ferguson's at 187 favorite, and I think he'll get the job done.
All right, so guys, we got Frankie Edgar. We've got a live dog that we're leaning on as in
Joe Lozon.
Joe Lozon, I'm sorry. And then we're also going to lean on Tony Ferguson as well for tonight. Moving into Saturday.
Yes, on Saturday, the Conor McGregor fight. Oh, man, this Conor McGregor fight so close. And it's one of those things to where I don't know which guy to take. I'll be honest with you. I love both guys. I've followed
TC, you can't come on the biggest show in the world not know. You can't have that player. We don't do those here.
Okay, if I have to give you a pick, I'm gonna take Conor.
Playboy, we can't let you get out of that.
I gotta take Conor. I think Conor is. He knows how to mentally get into people's minds, and he knows that he's in Jose Aldo's mind. And after that injury with Jose Aldo, I think it took a little bit out of Jose Aldo. And I think that Conor McGregor is gonna like step up to the occasion. I think he's gonna go 5 rounds. He won't finish them because Jose Aldo is just that freaking good. And I think he'll go 5 rounds. But I think Conor McGregor is going to come on top, and the belt is going to be his. I think the interim belt's going to be gone, and he's going to be the undisputed featherweight champion. And it's been a great run for Jose Aldo, but I think it might end this weekend. And it breaks my heart because I've followed this kid since he was in WEC. I've followed this kid since he was WEC. He was a nobody. He came in there and he just destroyed everybody. And he's still got a lot of fights in him because he's a smart kid, and he's always been there, and he's never been in any kind of danger. And I think Conor McGregor is just a little bit better than him in just about everywhere. Right. But Conor McGregor's our pick for that fight, guys.
Money line parlay, Dream.
Yes, sir.
Sounds like it. Sounds like it all day long.
Yes,
brother.
guys, that's the way to go with these fights. Sometimes these numbers are way too big. You just take them straight. This money party line. You were just talking about that, Dream. The best way to do it is just parlay a couple guys. This fight, the fight business is a little bit different than like football and NBA, but sometimes you can get away with 3 guys and it catches pretty big.
All right, awesome. So Tiger Clinch from Twitter, we actually got your Twitter handle posted on our YouTube video right now for everybody to take a look at you. But for the people that are listening in, tell them where to find you, brother.
Yeah, I'm always on Twitter at Tiger Clinch MMA, and I'm always trying to develop my picks and all that. I gave out a few big picks like a while back, and I had to stop because there's a point in time where, like, for some reason nothing was working out. But these last few months, everything's gotten better, and the picks have gotten more consistent. And I think I got this down, and I'll probably be back on there giving some free plays. And I just don't want to be, they're free plays, but you don't want to give losers to people. You want to give winners.
No doubt.
You want to make sure that people are winning.
Absolutely. Yeah, we definitely get that. We understand that. And then you don't need the extra headache of when you're losing either, because that's when, like, the cockroaches at Twitter come out.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? It's like the light got
me.
turned off. They can't see a pizza in the middle of the living room, and now they're headed for it. But
exactly.
Definitely understand that. But our community, for the most part, I mean, we get a couple of stragglers that make their way in, and a couple of snakes slide in with their eggs with unknown names or whatever, or no followers. But for the most of the part, our community is very respectful of that. I think the group, the band that we have together, all understand that nothing is guaranteed, and all know that this is just some information that we're sharing amongst each other, giving us some ideas and some extra insight. And we really applaud you and appreciate you hitting us off with that, player.
Absolutely. No,
thank you, Nick, and I appreciate you guys giving me an opportunity to talk on your radio show. It's a big opportunity. It's something that I myself have been looking into as Expo to Your Dream, but it's a good start-off point. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. I really appreciate it. I know you guys have a lot of people that want to call in and talk and all that, and I feel privileged to be on the radio with you guys. So thank you again. It's been an honor.
Thank you for the kind words,
coming on, player.
And we're definitely looking forward to getting you back on, man, as these fights come off.
Yeah, keep me in the loop and hit me up when it's big. I mean, this right here is a huge weekend, huh?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's 3 back-to-back cards. I think they're trying to stack up this last month because everybody's going on Christmas vacation and New Year's. I don't think anything's happening. So put everybody. Let's have a fight every day.
Yeah, right.
UFC trying to get the money dead right for Christmas.
Right. That's right.
Doing a bad job.
We got to close out the year with a bang.
Yes.
Right. Get the books right for the close out of the year.
Exactly.
All right, DC, man. Good rapping with you, and I'll talk to you later, player.
Thank you very much, man. Have a great day, guys, and hey. Keep this going.
All right, man. Bye. Sounds good. Thank you. Dream, big ups to you on that call, man. Definitely hell of a interview there.
Yeah. The guest was excellent. His information was important and relevant, and gave us some stuff to play with, some dogs, and some I put him against a little pressure on him with the Conor McGregor thing, but that was all in good fun. You guys got to make your decision on that because it looks like it's going to be a tough match. But I like that feisty McGregor cat. I love a cat like that.
Oh, that's your boy.
I do like to.
Ever since he's climbing on the cage and doing all that crazy stuff and all that. I mean, he's definitely. UFC loves to give these athletes the attitude.
Sure.
And with the attitude comes ratings. And
Dude,
you know what I'm
it's
saying?
much more entertaining. You know what
right.
I mean?
Right, exactly.
Nobody wants to see somebody with like your personality, like passive and peaceful, and you know what I mean, come walking in.
Yeah, you know
come
what?
walking in, being all respectful. You like that guy? You're the kung fu cat. You know, the master that got like the hood over his hat.
Mr.
You walk
Miyagi.
in. And, you want to be all peaceful and everything.
Yeah, but don't take the steak away from the pit bull though. That's all I gotta say. Because when I go ham, it's a little crazy.
You killed my teacher.
All right. Guys, we are live right now on Twitter, having a hell of a good time, and thank you to everybody that's retweeting our show thus far. It is
definitely
the SBTV Nation, man. And looking at this, so I'm going to shoot right over to the NBA, Dream, because there's a couple of games that are on my radar, on my ticket, and I think we need to have a conversation about it. Number one, we need to talk about the undefeated Golden State Warriors, man. They're going into the Boston Celtics tonight. The Golden State Warriors are only -6 with an under-over of 214.5. Do the Boston Celtics knock them off their throne tonight? Yes or no?
Listen, I told you before, my position with the with the Golden State Warriors are you either bet with them or you watch.
Right.
Okay, I'm not betting against a Golden State Warriors. Do I like this spot for them? I don't really love it, but the Celtics, while are good and vastly improved, they're still a work in progress and not all that. So I've got to be honest with you. I'm not really. I'm good with this game as far as watching. I'm not going to get involved in it, but I'm not going to recommend anybody get involved with the Celtics. I'm sorry.
When you look at the Golden State Warriors, 23 consecutive wins. Actually, going back to last year, they actually have a lot more than that. But when you look at their against the spread stats, they've only not covered, Dream, 7 times.
No doubt, which wouldn't be an issue for me. You know what I mean?
You know, I always wondered about Golden State. Are they the bookie's friend or the worst nightmare? Because I bet you there's a lot of underdog players that have been trying to go against Golden State like every week and every game and getting pounded. Pounded, brother. So, you know what? Hey, they're giving 6.5 points tonight. I think you kind of watch it and see. I mean, listen, this team now is going to have a target on their back every single game they play. And on Christmas Day, they have the Cleveland Cavs coming into town. So they have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games before.
And they are not losing that game.
Kyrie's going to be back, though. Did you hear it?
And they are not losing that game.
Kyrie said, David Blatt said Kyrie could be back as early as this weekend, brother.
And they are not losing that game.
What do you think they'll be giving, like 7.5?
I don't know, but I know whatever they're giving, I know they're covering it, and they're not losing.
Really?
Yeah, because, dude, they got to make a statement, man. Are you kidding me? Are if there's any game they're going to show up for and really go after, it's going to be that one.
Yeah, definitely.
Because everybody, especially if they're undefeated going to that game, everybody will be on, this is the game that they're going to lose.
Right. My boy Terrace Back is wondering why you got a Patriots chair in the back of your Dream. You know somebody was going to hit you up about that.
Stop stalking the crib. Stop zooming in on my crib stalking now, Twitter.
Like, hey, what's that little thing on the shelf in the background there, man? Blah, blah, blah.
Originally, this man cave here was this place here was the original lab. It was my office. Yeah. And my wife took it over. It's actually what she uses as a salon now. And my whole man cave is all sports themed. And, you know, one day I'll walk the camera around in there. You guys maybe could take a look at it. But, the idea with the chair, when I bought the chair, it was the only chair with any type of acknowledgement of sports. They had all these chairs, and then right in the middle of all these chairs was one chair with the Patriots, and it was like 50% off. It was like cheap too.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, I gotta buy it because it was more about it being just sports than it was about being the Patriots.
Gotcha. And now we actually got people commenting on YouTube as well. Dream Kelsey's over there.
Plus, Terrace back. Here was the thing too. This is the lab, right? And it was all about coming in here and winning.
Yes.
I mean, say what you want about the Patriots. No team wins more than them.
Very good point. Except for the Carolina Panthers this year.
So I was like, I ain't talking about this shit. But and you know, I feel like when I'm sitting in this seat, I feel, you know, Brady-ish and Belichick-ish. You know what I'm saying?
Brady-ish and Belichick-ish. All right, sounds good. So we talked about that game. I think it's probably the game. Just sit back and watch. I actually read an article where there was an analyst saying that, and a writer saying that he felt that the Boston Celtics are playing better than anybody in the East. And I was just nope.
So I heard that too, and I struggle with that. But
I struggle with it too.
Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I still think the Boston Celtics, I still have it, Cavs, Heat, and then it's a tie between the Bulls.
Pacers.
I don't got the Pacers in there.
All right, well, let's talk about two of those teams right now. You got the Miami Heat going into them.
Yeah, and we're going to get a good look tonight at this particular game. Only thing is, make sure that Dwayne Wade is in the lineup. Heat playing the Pacers. The bad thing for the Pacers are the Heat are coming off of a couple of losses, so they should be ready to play tonight and get back into winning ways. It's going to be a very good game. I'm not going to get involved in this game, though.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, I'm not going to get involved in this game because the Heat are traveling. I'm not getting involved in this game. But this is going to be a very good matchup. Our guest yesterday talked about it, and it should be a good matchup.
Yeah, and you're looking at, let me just see, I'm looking at the injury report here, and Whiteside for the Miami Heat did not practice on Thursday, and he is day-to-day with a sprained ankle.
And that could be an issue. So that's why I said you got to take a look at these injuries with these teams. Guys are going to rest. You know, it's a long season, so keep that, beware of it, and keep cognizant of it.
Keep that in the back of your brains, especially if you're gambling on them in Sin City, Las Vegas. And both teams are actually bringing losing streaks into this game tonight. Miami Heat have lost 2 in a row. The Indiana Pacers have lost 3 in a row. I think the Pacers get the job done, Dream.
I know you do, but I don't.
Wager?
No.
No?
Not tonight.
So you must not be feeling it then.
Well, I don't know. D. Wade is too early. You know what I'm saying? Wade might not play. Wade doesn't play.
You've been saying that, but Wade has been every single game full
I know, which all the more reason for him to start. You know, hey, my knees are blowing up. You know what I mean?
Definitely, man.
I'm just real worried about him. You remember how they did with him?
Of course.
It was, dude. You turn on the game thinking you had D Wade in, and here he is in a suit on the sideline. You're like, oh, come on. So, and he's a big part of the puzzle with them now. With LeBron gone, he's really emerged and stepped up his level. And we know that he's not, you know, the youngest guy on the team either. So, you got to keep that in mind with him. So, like I said, I won't go out on a limb with that particular matchup. However, I do happen to like your boy tonight.
Oh, me too, man. I was looking at that. We're talking about my boy LeBron James, in case you're new to the show, because, Dream, it feels like we got a whole new crowd starting to come with us with the videos, man.
Oh, no doubt.
So pretty excited about it, and I got my assistant over there. Couldn't have did it without her. Grace, thank you very much for putting that all together for us. And let's see. Who am I shouting out? She's out. She wants me to shout somebody out here. Sabres 7488. Craig M's. Wow, a lot of people on here, man. All kinds of people chatting with her this morning. I can't really pronounce some of these names. Pretty Patty. I don't even know how to pronounce this one. Rise Jones, something like that. But hey, thank you very much for doing that, man. Hey, this is a step in a whole different direction for us, Dream.
No doubt.
Guess what? Now the network's going to be paying attention to the biggest show in the world. That's what we got to say, man. You know what I mean? So very much looking forward to it, and looking forward to, actually, because we had a really lovely female on last night, and what better way to kick off, and help us out by having, some females join us on the take here and there. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Might be nice. So we're talking about my boy LeBron James, and the Cleveland Cavaliers are going into the Orlando Magic, and Cleveland is -3 with an under-over of 197.5. Dream, the line movement, it went from 5 to 3.
As soon as we mentioned it?
Why? No, because it would have went in the opposite direction, because we're feeling my boy. It would have went up.
Well, maybe they feeling like the Magic gonna do it.
Well, J.R. Smith is out tonight.
Oh, good. So then I like the Cavs even more.
You don't like the obnoxious threes?
The problem with JR is like when he's not hitting, he doesn't say, okay, I'm not hitting, let me fall back. It's like, I'm not hitting, I can shoot my way into it.
Yes, definitely.
But yeah, I like the Cavs -3 even without J.R. Smith. I think that's decent. I think that's a pretty good spot. I don't really mind that, and I don't really mind a -3 either. So you don't even have to get involved with the money line situation in that particular matchup.
Yeah, let's see. The Orlando Magic, the only thing I got here, C.J. Watson's a little banged up for them, their guard, but for the most part, they don't have any other injuries as far as the Orlando Magic. So
and this is not going to be a cakewalk. Orlando is pesty too. They're a pesty, feisty team. They will play hard for sure. I just think at the end of the day, Cleveland's going to get it done. I think your boy will be able to overcome that. And he is back in Florida where he's got a little bit of ties. So he'll want to do something out there to something somewhat impressive, I think. Yeah. So I like them tonight against Magic.
I think they're going to win the game. And I don't mind laying the 3 either, Dream.
Yeah.
And even if you got it in a money line situation, it probably, if you pair it up with anything else on the board, you're going to make money.
Right. And I would recommend that if you guys like the 3, I generally don't do this because we like to say wait and make sure the injuries are right and everything's coming out. But I would see this line probably moving a little bit by game time. So if you like that 3, which I kind of like, you might want to jump on it now.
Perfect, man. Perfect. Yeah, I've noticed that, guys, we're here at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes by the time these games, like last night, dude, the line was 8 points or 8.5 points with the Arizona Cardinals. Yep. Jumped all the way to 10.5.
10.5.
I was like, whoa, look at that, man. So, hey, you know what? Sometimes you got to have that instinctual feel of knowing where the line is.
I don't understand that phenomenon because the public all put their bets in already.
Oh, that's funny, man. And guys, listen, you know what? Hey, if you're watching us on YouTube right now, we also have the show available with audio. We are at SBTVNation.com, so you can go to the website there. We're building a killer website that's been taking forever.
No doubt.
But that's because we're putting a bunch of different stuff in
They
it.
put Dunkin' Donuts up faster than our website has come.
Yes,
just
sir.
So you know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's see what else I got here, man. Hey, I like this little Jeff Ryan. He wants to know if you got your chair from Clown Man Swag, brother.
I did not get my chair from Clown Man Swag.
All right, man. So as far as the NBA is concerned, I don't really see anything else. I mean, you got San Antonio facing Lake Show tonight, so don't be surprised if Pop sits a few people.
Total annihilation.
Total annihilation. And Philly Picks is asking when we're going to Las Vegas again, so we will have the conversation.
No doubt. We're going to get right over into the NHL now at this point. I don't think I have anything else on the horizon with the NBA.
No.
I just like Cleveland, and that would be it for the evening. Over in the NHL side, I do like the Dallas Stars, and I'm probably going to get involved with this pesty Flyers team. And I know Jim Roman is a douche, is out there giggling a little bit in the back of his mind about the Philadelphia Flyers team because he always gives me a little bit about them. But Flyers got me last night. I think I'm going to get them tonight. I like the Stars in this particular matchup. And that is going to be it for me as far as hockey's concerned. The only thing I like is the Stars. That Penguins-Kings game is going to be hell of a game.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. And looking at the Dallas Stars, Dream, I mean, they've been outstanding this year.
They have
bro.
been.
I mean, with the exception of the Carolina stomachache the other night,
yes,
being up 4-0 in the first and actually letting Carolina come all the way back and tie the game. But when you look at it, I mean, they have lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games total, man. I mean, they have gone on like 4-game winning streaks, 3-game winning streaks, 3-game winning streaks, 5-game winning streaks. I mean, they've been money.
Yeah, I'm liking the Flyers. I'm liking the Stars tonight to get into the Flyers. I really I feel somewhat confident about that, especially coming off of last night's game. They are traveling, as we like to allude to with the traveling situation, going from St. Louis to Dallas, even though they're not walking or catching a bus. But, I like the Stars tonight to get this game done. A nice parlay option might be the Stars and the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Oh, you know what? Dude, you and I are on the exact same page with that. I mean, those are definitely two plays to put together, and that's got to pay plus money.
I'm sure it does. And guys, this is the one thing I am going to say about this situation now. Don't be greedy and take the Cavaliers minus the 3 if you do that.
Why not? I like them minus the 3.
No, I like them too minus the 3, but if you're going to put it in a parlay,
Yeah.
just be safe and money line them, just in case they win by 1 point. I mean, it's not like it can't happen, or 2 points, or 3, and get the push. So just if you're gonna play a game by itself, my recommendation is go ahead and take the. You go with the minus 3. But if you're going to put it in a parlay with the Stars, go ahead and don't be greedy and money line it.
All right, and yeah, like you said, number 1, don't be greedy. Number 2, don't be alarmed if my boy LeBron falls down by double digits in the first half. That just seems like that's like historical for them this year, the Cleveland Cavs. I don't know what that is, Dream. I thought about this a lot. I think that my boy, I think what he tries to do is tries to get everybody involved and tries, he'll be like, go into the hole and then kick it out to Dellavedova or Varejao or somebody like that. And then towards the end of the game when they're down and it's not working, that's when he starts taking it to the hole and actually trying to, go for a dunk or a layup or something like that.
No doubt.
And draw the foul.
Right.
So that's pretty much where we're at, guys. Hey, looking at the ice, I don't really see anything else that is tickling my fancy except for the New York Rangers. I kind of feeling them a little bit. I've been on this team quite a bit now.
Yes, you have.
Looking at them a little bit, I think they get the job done tonight as well. I don't necessarily think I would be getting involved with that, but it is what it is, guys. Like I said, man, we are live right now on Twitter and on YouTube, and we have the link. We put it out on Twitter as far as where the video can be found. You can watch it live. You can stream it, but you can go back and watch it from the beginning, whatever the hell you want to do. Or you can listen to us on Spreaker or SBTVNation.com. Dream, great show.
Definitely. And if you guys are out there on Twitter, if you retweet the show, at the end of the show, I do the shout outs. That's generally how we run our format here at the end of the show. I like to thank everybody that's retweeted our show, and I give you guys a shout out as a way of saying thank you for doing that. We're going to get into that right now. I want to thank Total Sports Edge, who's out there right now doing their thing. We got Frank Vinculato, No Request, Direct Sports Solutions out there. And, oh, by the way, if you guys like what you heard right now, tonight at 6 o'clock,
yes,
6:15 Eastern Standard Time, we are on 12:30 a.m. Houston, Texas. KCOH with Ralph Cooper, having a real good time with him. We do the whole thing a little bit differently than this format, but very quite the same. Talk about what's going on, what's relative, mostly being better in the NFL this weekend. And that was brought about by Direct Sports Solutions. So big ups to them once again.
Yes.
And thank you. We'll be on KCOH later this evening. We got Philly picks out there. Terrence Mack, JDH24. We got Joseph Del Rosario. Jim Rome is a douche. And them Flyers, boy, getting me aggravated.
Yes.
Vegas Jacks out there. Key MVU, Razor Ramon, G Rose, CDN Capra Kings is out there as well. We got Christos. We got Jay Snyder. Blake Moore is out there. Fast Eddie 72. AB Lent, Rigetti 51. Yippa 82. MC Money to pick. My boy Rick Lopez, J Cass, INT, Jeff Ryan, R Loop, Irvin's out there. We got Mind Funk out there. Nicholas J is out there as well. Benjamin Rowe, Jordy Best. We got the Evil Genius retweeting us.
Yes.
Vegas Girl 92661. SD Grind, JC, OJFB, Jason Riley, Angelo Nunes, Sir Mata, Cash Jackson Bets, and Lone Star Ombre, just to name a few. And we got everybody that's joining the party, all of our new people, our new fans, our new friends, and our new additions to the community out there on YouTube. We want to thank you guys as always. I am the Dream. Always remember who you're with. Make the most of each and every day because you cannot get this time back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Guys, we go Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're live on the airwaves, live on the videos now. And we go 10 a.m. during the weekends. But on the weekends, we won't be doing videos because my assistant over here does not work weekends, so we can't do that. But Monday through Friday, we'll be on it and having an absolute blast with you guys. We love you to death. Go out there, go easy, do your own homework, get involved in all your own plays, make all your dreams a damn reality, and get that money. Let's go!
Peace!